This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of Q2 Metals, Miss Alicia Milne. Alicia, it is great to have you on. You and I have not spoken before, which is interesting because I'm actually a shareholder, a very committed one that has participated in the last two financings. So I know that we've corresponded, but we haven't actually had the pleasure to chat. So it's great having you on. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks, Gerardo. It's nice to be here and nice to finally talk to you in person.
Well, let's get right into it. I actually reached out because, as I mentioned, I'm a committed Q2 shareholder. I firmly believe that Q2 is the next company in the James Bay area with a legitimate shot at a legitimate discovery. Of course, we all know what Patriot Battery Metals has done. We all know the Corvette District is turning into a one-off and a very unique and special situation. But there's a lot of common, and I hate this word, but there's a lot of synergies between Q2 and Patriot. I don't want to rehash them because I have in the past, but Neil McCallum's involved, obviously, with Q2 Metals. Neil, of course, being famous for helping stake the Corvette District. I know privately and publicly he loves the properties in the Q2 Metals portfolio. And we happen to have the good fortune of the stock pulling back recently from the latest financing, coming free trading, and I think, some short-sighted traders locking in some profit. So with all that being said, before we talk about Q2, before we talk about the property and the catalyst coming up and why I think this is an excellent entry point, can we speak a bit about your background?
Sure. My background is actually I was a securities and corporate paralegal way back in the olden days, and then I started working at Pretium Resources, and I was their corporate secretary for 7 odd years. But prior to that, I actually worked with Jody DeRouge and Neil McCallum with a group of other companies. So, I think I've known Jody for going on 20 years, and Neil's probably close to the same because he was based in the same office that I was in. So we have a good history there. And flash forward 20 years, and here we are working on MIA, and it's been fun. It's been great, and it's good to have that trust level with Jody and Neil because I've known them so long.
Absolutely. Well, listen, no coincidence, obviously, with the network and the relationships that you end up with MIA, right? Which is a property that I am extremely excited about. It's worth mentioning you were also a former director of Women in Mining BC, by the way, but we'll have that conversation another day.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Let's talk about MIA and let's talk about why, the stock is trading right now at roughly 45 cents. It's pulled back quite a bit. It's got a 52-week high of 123. I think if we have success with the drill bit later this year, 123 is going to seem modest. So 44, 45 cents, I think, is a spectacular entry point or a great point to average down on. The last check that I wrote was at 50 cents, and I'm happy to see it on sale because it allows me, one, to get subscribers in at a great entry point, and two, for me to add to my existing position. But tell me about MIA and what is it about that specific property that attracted you to it and that, made you decide to call it the flagship?
Well, there's been no work done on MIA historically. It's been a gold project for years, and it's just sort of flown under the radar until the vendor that we acquired it from, he had staked it and he had done a little bit of work on it, and he's been very active in the area, and it just sort of came to us and we looked at it a little bit closely. We have one of our directors, he's based in Australia, he's a mining engineer, and he had a coworker of his look at it who's a geologist, and we reached out to Jody and Neil as well, and we said, hey, we have this project here that we're looking to acquire. What do you think? And everybody's eyes just opened up, and they're like, what? Like, this is amazing. Like, nobody's touched this. And just looking at the satellite photos and looking at some of the samples that the vendor had come up with from, he was out there in August and September last year. It was a bit of a no-brainer, and I don't think we actually knew what we were getting ourselves into until we actually acquired it and announced it. And then, the market started running, and, we closed a $10.25 million private placement in February. So we're very well funded for doing a considerable amount of work on the project this year. Of that $10.5 million, we raised, was it $7.5 million of flow through? So that's going directly into the ground this year.
I love that you actually answered
So
my
there's
next
gonna be a lot
question.
of, yeah, yeah, there's going to be a lot of news flow once we start hitting the project hard. I mean, this week, actually, Neil and another person that's going to be working on our project are actually heading up to Mia right now. They're on a plane flying over James Bay. Neil was sending us some pictures earlier, but they're heading there now. We get, I guess, kind of locked out from April 20th to May 20th because it's goose harvesting season. And they're anticipating being there May 21st, getting on the ground, starting their initial mapping and sampling program. Because to this point, like, none of us have actually been there. Some of the, like, we had an IP survey going on right now, and a mag survey is going to be happening. But those are the only people that have been on MIA since our vendors were there last September, I guess. So we have a lot of work coming up, and it's been good. We kind of had a bit of a downtime, so we've been able to get all of our contracts in place with, you know, who's going to be doing the work on the project. We've got all of our drilling lined up. We've got everything lined up, ready to go. So May 21st, we'll be hitting it hard, and then hopefully it'll be a extremely busy summer and fall for us.
Well, work means news flow, right? We know that, and a quiet period tends to be when stocks
Exactly.
consolidate. I think the consolidation is healthy. I know when I spoke with Neil, and actually I spoke with Jody. I had the good fortune of meeting with him at PDAC and interviewed him here a week or two ago. And what stood out to them and what stands out to me are a couple of things. One, the pegmatite intrusions over 8.3 kilometer long trend, right? That's impressive to me. The second thing that stands out to me was the 1959 report detailing pegmatite dikes that were as much as 30.5 meters in width. And then, of course, you got to talk about the 18 outcrop grab samples that had an average of 2.65% lithium. And that was just from the MIA LI1 area. And so all of that says there's a lot of smoke. It's only smoke until we put the drill bit down and see if there's actually some fire that's causing it. But again, I'm confident in saying that I think Q2 is going to end the year trading much, much higher. And then, you know, obviously voting with my checkbook on my end. You have the news flow, you have the treasury topped up. Anything to add to that, Alicia?
No, I think we're just really excited to get out there and get going on this. Like, it's been a few months since we've acquired it, and we've got all the things in place, and now it's just a matter of getting out there and executing and proving us up.
No, I always tell people it's buy low, sell high. You can't do the sell high part if you don't do the buy low part. I think this is the buy low part, people. So, Alicia, it was great having you on. I'm looking forward to having Neil back on when he gets back from site and hearing his observations. And then obviously looking forward to a year's worth of conversations here as the news flow continues. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Gerardo. Appreciate it.
All right. Chat soon.
Bye.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.